I just can't stand this guy. I've wanted to make this video for such a long time, but as of 2 days ago, Jawsh tweeted out a big old thread, Jawsh, call me Carson, whatever. But as of 2 days ago, Jawsh tweeted out a big thread of all of these issues with stands, and although I don't agree with everything, I do agree with a lot of it, and you'll see a lot of that in my video today. So sorry in advance if there are any parallels. There will be. There will. I'm just saying. Anyways, if you can't tell what the topic of today's video is about, it's about my issues with stands, or the fundamental issues with stands, or why I hate stands even though I don't really hate them. I'll get into it. Without further ado, let's roll, you know. I want to start off this video with an explanation of the difference between liking something and standing something. Because I'm mainly going to be talking about Dream and everything like that today, I'm going to point out a YouTuber that I really like, Scott the Woz. His videos are very good. His videos are very funny. His videos give us a sense of community that us people who watch him can make jokes about and stuff. We can make art, drawings, memes, I hate saying memes, but memes, whatever. But you aren't gonna see a big Scott the Woz stan community, which I hope doesn't exist. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But you aren't gonna see that rampaging some YouTuber because Scott referenced him in a negative sense in a video. He doesn't do that, thank God. You aren't gonna see a bunch of garbage hashtags on Twitter about some joke that he makes in the video, because that's annoying. That's just annoying. Whenever I go onto Twitter, I'm not looking at the hashtags to find out what Dream did today. I'm going there to see stuff in the news, stuff that I care about, not Dream for the 45th time in a row, and especially not if there are 4 different trending hashtags that are about Dream. Bottom line is this: liking something basically equates to having a good general opinion about it, maybe involving yourself in a community that people enjoy, but not A, making that your entire personality, and B, not annoying other people with it. That is liking, not pushing that onto other people. The key is subtlety. You don't want to overdo or obsess, because eventually that becomes creepy and uncomfortable for others, which we'll get into. Now, let's go into standing. The definition of stan is a merging of the words stalker and fan. Stalker and fan. I don't think people who use the term stan to describe themselves really have a good understanding of the origins of the word. That's not really a valid criticism. It's just a point that I'm making. I mean, it's there. So now I'm gonna go into what a stan is like. And I'm going to be bringing up Dream. I don't have as much experience with K-pop stans, but I'll talk about them later, I guess. Let's look at what a Dream stan might do. They might change their profile picture to Dream or something like that. I get it, that's fine. Cool, whatever. I wouldn't personally do it. I'm trying to be myself. But they might make fan cam videos with some sort of garbage phone editor app that has a bunch of templates that make smooth, zoomy transitions with the emoji hearts or whatever. Fine, whatever. You can do that. It isn't fine art, but like, sure. They would proceed to post that in a bunch of people's comments for no reason on trending hashtags on Twitter. This is the beginning of pushing something onto other people. Let me give you an example of what this is like. I'm on a trending hashtag on Twitter about how oil or something, there was an oil spill, I don't know, something like that. Something like not even relating to Dream. I'll go into the comments of some like weird controversial tweet, I don't know, oil isn't real. I'll look in the comments and I'll scroll through, you know, I'll see some pretty normal stuff at first, people saying oil is real, criticizing the person, but eventually I will hit something that is completely unrelated. That being a Dream stan with some sort of Dream fan cam. They're saying, this guy's an idiot anyways, stan Dream. This mainly happens with K-pop stans, but I have seen it a few times with Dream stans as well. The point of this video isn't directly to attack Dream or K-pop stans, it's more to just call out the issues with the stan community in general. So please keep that in mind when I refer to Dream stans more often. I just know them better. So you see the fan cam in the post about the oil saying stan Dream, completely unrelated. It's just pushing what you like onto other people, and in a sense that makes us, the people who don't enjoy or haven't heard of what you're talking about, probably a little bit weirded out by your weird obsession. It's like in a normal conversation, right? I'm talking about Ed, Edd n Eddy. I'm talking about how great that show was for like whatever seasons. I don't know, the last two kind of were okay. But, you know, let me give you an example here. We're talking about Ed, Edd n Eddy. Yo, Jimmy's retainer looks like it could be part of like a solar system model. Yo, that's true. Anyways, Stan Dream. He doesn't relate. Finally, another one of the big things about the difference between liking and standing, stans kind of follow a bit more of a mob herd mentality. Whereas if I like something, I might be a little bit more individual and have my own beliefs. You know, I'm not gonna say that every Scott the Woz video is incredible. I don't believe that. In fact, I think some of his later videos, he's relying on the same gag a little bit too much. But I digress, unrelated, not being a stan here. If you're standing, you're gonna have a bit more of a herd mentality. You're a sheep following a bunch of other sheep who are following a proverbial shepherd. In this case, being a Minecraft YouTuber who's unfunny and boring, or a bunch of millionaire K-pop boy band guys. You have the same opinions as a lot of the other people in the group, not because that's what you believe, but because that's what everybody else believes. If one person starts doing something, you're probably gonna start doing the same thing. It's not healthy. Anyways, here's the bottom line. Liking something is subtle, and it's not all you. Standing something is loud and annoying, and it isn't you, it's the community. You aren't yourself. You are a stan. Let's talk about more issues with standing. For this next segment, I'm gonna be talking about some more issues I have with stans. I know I just kind of went on about that, so I'll be pretty much reiterating a few points and then adding on to them, and then adding like one or two more points, but it'll be worth it, trust me. Stans aren't individuals, they are themselves. For example, again, before I say this, I don't like Dream. I'm biased, but I know Dream stans and I know what caused this whole thing. It's a very minor thing, but it'll make sense because, I mean, it's a vote. The Minecraft mob vote, right? I'm gonna come off as a Redditor here, I don't care. It was between three mobs, the Moobloom, the Isolager or whatever it was, and the Glow Squid. If you're like me, you would have voted for what you liked personally. I personally like the Moobloom. It didn't get in, I was fine, who cares? But when I look in the hashtags on Twitter, which I know I say hashtags on Twitter a lot, but that is where the Dream fans dwell, that is their cavern. My hair is weird. I look in there, all it is Dream Stan saying Glow Squid because Dream wanted a Glow Squid. Nobody with a Dream profile pic was saying anything else. It got me thinking. Dictatorship. I'm just saying, it's not really that bad of a thing in that case, but having a bit of the mob mentality and blindly following what somebody else wants just because you're their stan can lead you to some bad things in the future if that becomes a constant behavior. You don't want to be a sheep, you want to be you. The fan cams. Wow, that's annoying. That's really annoying. And they aren't well put together at all. I can make a fan cam. Who am I making a fan cam over? I'll figure it out in post. It'll be a nice little surprise. Here you go. Wasn't that amazing? No, it wasn't. Again, here's another example. This time I'm ragging on K-pop stans. It's not just you, Dream stans. Right after Stan Lee died, it was sad. It was really sad because Stan Lee died. Who wouldn't be sad? Anyways, you go into the comments, it's what you'd expect. Then you go in there, you scroll down, everything looks normal in the comments, you know, and then you hit the Stan Luna post. Stan Lee, who cares about Stan Lee? Should have Stan Luna. Okay. Disrespectful, sure, but also, I'm a fan of dark humor, so I'll give them that. Maybe it's just a dark humor thing. I can make a joke about somebody dying. I know it's wrong. I'll acknowledge it's wrong. I don't try to do it very often, but at the same time, I'm not going to attack somebody for also having dark humor. Whereas with K-pop stans, here's another example. Too Mad. Too Mad made a video at the beginning of the pandemic where it showed a K-pop concert spreading coronavirus because, you know, Asia, whatever. I don't know. It's a touchy subject. I wouldn't have made the joke, but it is a joke nonetheless. It's dark humor, whatever. The K-pop stans absolutely destroyed him. They were sending lawsuits, they were sending whatever. They were bombarding him. Death threats, everything like that, which is another thing I'll get into in a second. It was really bad, but it was dark humor. But that's the problem. If one K-pop stan is gonna start making a Stan Luna joke as dark humor,
and it isn't just one person, might I add,
and then they're gonna start attacking 2Mad for using dark humor, again, neither of these are jokes I would personally make. I'm just making, it's a double standard. That's the point I'm trying to prove here. If you're gonna do that to 2Mad, you might wanna do that to whoever did the Stan Luna joke. I don't know, cast them out to the cast them out of the community. I don't know what you guys do. Send them out on the raft, or I don't know, like catapult them like in that one episode of SpongeBob with the Vikings. All right, next up, death threats. Death threats are bad. That is universally agreed. Death threats are very, very bad. Stans use death threats sometimes. There is a large amount of stans who have used death threats. There's not much other to say than that. I'd like to point out before I keep going, whenever I refer to stans, it's a general statement. I feel like that should be pretty blatantly obvious. Not every stan is going to be like this. But the idea of the stan community in general doing this kind of stuff is bad. So that's why I'm referring to them as stans, whatever. Stans can't really take criticism of themselves or their idol or whatever, their dictator. If they get criticism, it is either wrong, with no reason of it being wrong. It is just nitpicking, nagging, whatever. They're stupid. The person who criticized them is stupid or whatever. They aren't looking at all the facts. Maybe they aren't. Maybe they are stupid. But you know what's more stupid than being stupid? Being stupid yourselves and calling some other person stupid when you yourself are stupid. I know. I know that was harsh. You guys aren't all stupid, but maybe if you guys don't want to look like a dum-dum or whatever, I don't know, dum-dum, don't try to counter someone's argument, well made or not, with just, you're stupid. You come off as a baby. Before we get to my main point of the fundamental issues of stans, I'd like to point out some good things about stans, but I also might point out some of the issues within, so get ready for that. Stans create a nice sense of community. If you like something, you can join the community. Stans are basically a big community. Great, you can meet friends there, I don't care. If you meet a friend in a stan community, man, good on ya. I'm proud for ya. Making friends is hard, especially now in a pandemic, so being able to relate to somebody right now is great. However, relating to somebody on the basis that you are both followers of a dictator ruler isn't a good thing to relate to. I'm exaggerating, but if you read between the lines there, you might get it. You might get the criticism. It's good to make friends. That's fine. Meet somebody in the stan community, I don't care. Great, have friends. Making artwork. There is absolutely nothing wrong with making artwork. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't care. There's no criticism. Make artwork, it's nice, it looks neat. That's cool. Occasionally stans do have good moments of like, I don't know, good. Say Dream wants to make himself look great and he starts up a charity stream. Man, he'll get those stans to donate a bunch of money to charity. There is nothing wrong with that. I mean, Dream is kind of using that position on top to further gain more stans because he's doing a good action. Maybe not with the good intentions, but I mean, it still is a good action. Those are the things that I could think of about stan culture that are good. There are good things. I'm not saying that stan culture is all bad. 85% of it is. But there are good halves, there are good portions, there are good people, whatever. It's time for the big flaw, the big fundamental issue of stanning. You ready? I know, it's exciting. I kinda already referenced it, so the build-up might not be too great, but whatever. Here we go, drum roll, whatever, I don't care. There is an inherent issue with stanning. The inherent issue of stanning is the fact that you are actively pushing people away from what you love. If you want to like something and promote it and wish it well, that's fine. If I like something, I might send somebody a video and I say, hey, check it out, this guy's cool. But I'm not gonna push that onto everyone every single time I comment on a trending hashtag on Twitter. However, if I go in there to the oil spill comments and I see that Stan Dream or whatever, that's weird. I am associating that with some weird fan promoting that for no inherent reason. And you know what I think? I think, wow, they must have a really weird community. They must have really weird videos that I probably won't like because I don't like this, so I don't watch them. So I find that uncomfortable. I find them uncomfortable, and as a result, I find whatever they're talking about, I associate that with that uncomfortable feeling. If you love something so much, don't harm it for other people. Don't. I don't know why you would do that, especially for a YouTuber. A YouTuber will want more viewers. I don't want to watch stream. I don't want to. And every single time I go into Twitter, I see the annoying hashtags further making me not want to watch stream. Is that so hard to understand? So, yeah, that's my video. Yeah. If you watch this entire thing, thank you for watching. If anybody watches this video, and you have a Stan friend who you really hate, don't send this to them because then that will spread like wildfire and I'll get dislike bombed. Or you can send it to them, it might get me more traction, but who cares, I don't know. Just do whatever you want. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Share this with all your friends. Make sure to hit that notification bell. I think like 0.0002% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed. No people who are subscribed watch my video. People who watch my videos, you aren't subscribed. I know it. I'm reading your mind. Hit the bell. Hit the bell. I'm not funny, but you can still watch my stuff, dude. If you don't, I will slaughter your family. Death threats are bad. I forget death threats are bad. Thanks for watching.
Wait, that's not the end of the video. There's still a lot left. What could that mean?
Alright, oh wait. Alright, it's like 2 days later after I filmed this, or a couple days actually. It's a couple days after I filmed this. I'm glad I didn't finish editing in time because Dream just posted a video defending Stans. To end this video properly, I'm going to break down some of the arguments he made in that video and explain why they are wrong, in my opinion. I have a list, a full-on list of complaints. This is the Declaration of Independence. These are grievances against the country, baby. God save the Queen, baby. Towards the end of the video, Dream states, don't say what they like is weird.
And don't let anyone convince you that something you genuinely enjoy is weird, because they are weird for caring so much about what you enjoy.
We aren't saying that you're weird, Dream. The people who criticize Stans aren't saying that what they like is weird. If we thought you were weird, you would probably be more appealing to us because you are boring and bland. What we're saying is weird is how much they obsess over you. And I know you said in the video that they don't obsess over... Yes, they do. They totally obsess over you. They set their profile picture to you. They constantly quote you. What else do I have to say?
I'm a big football fan, and when I was younger I had posters, I had shoes, I had jerseys of my favorite players. I watched all the behind-the-scenes videos, I watched all their games. My profile picture on Twitter was my favorite player waving the flag of my favorite team. That didn't make me obsessive, it made me human. Now, a lot of people use this to say that stans are obsessive and that it's gross or stalker behavior. And I mean, of course, there's a small subset of actual stalker fans that do things that I wouldn't like or that are creepy, but that's not stans as a whole.
Look, I'll admit, we all have our obsessions, but most of us don't take them to a really weird extent and push it onto other people, which you don't address in this video. I will talk about that. I obsess over Smash Brothers, and although that is most of my Twitter feed, I'm not going into people's comment sections and tweeting out about how awesome Smash Brothers is unless A, I personally know them and want to annoy them, or B, is something related to Smash Brothers. I was looking up a video earlier and I saw a tweet and Twitter was like, oh yeah, whatever, I don't know. It's just another K-pop thing. It's another K-pop thing.
And yes, I get it. It's a reaction image, which is a whole nother can of worms that I hate. But the fact that I can't go like 2 minutes without going into the comment section of any tweet and see a K-pop or Dream reaction image is god-awful. And little side note, like, if this video gets seen by any, like, stans or whatever, I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna be like, oh, Batstewie whenever he sees a reaction image or a single reference to Dream in the comment section of any tweet, and it's just gonna be some, like, Wojak or something like losing his mind. And to that I say, that isn't a valid form of criticizing my argument here. And newsflash, neither is saying you're obsessed.
I'm getting sidetracked. Let it be said. We aren't criticizing you for being weird, Dream, because you're not. We're criticizing what the fans are doing as weird, not what they like. For a lot of the video, he brings up the stalker fan definition that I brought up in this video, and I even said that isn't a valid piece of evidence. I don't think people who use the term stan to describe themselves really have a good understanding of the origins of the word. That's not really a valid criticism. It's just a point that I'm making. I mean, it's there. But he goes on about it for like half of the freaking thing.
Now, the word stan was originally meant as stalker fan, and if you came to this video expecting me to talk about how I have too many stalkers and how stans suck, you will be leaving disappointed. Stalker behavior. And I mean, of course, there's a small subset of actual stalker fans that do things that I wouldn't like. So there was a Twitter account created that was called Dream GPS, and it tweeted out supposed GPS locations of where I was at every moment. So someone made a YouTube video about it that blew up that said my stans were trying to find me and that they were being extreme stalkers.
Nobody has an issue with them stalking you because we know that it's an extreme definition. It's an exaggeration. We know there aren't really like people stalking you. I mean, not a large majority. Like, there are some, there's a small handful, like you said, but most of the people just take the definition and run with it in an exaggerated sense. The problem here is that you are thinking that we are considering them stalkers, and that is our issue with them. That's not our issue with them. Our issue is how obsessive and intrusive their obsession can be. It is annoying. And I don't know them, so I'm not okay with that. I'm fine if a friend annoys me, but whenever it's somebody else, it's like the person eating in the cafeteria, you're like sitting right next to them, you know, you can't do anything, they're just smacking their lips. You don't know this guy's just like, that's annoying. That's what a dream stan is. That's what stans are in general.
But don't generalize a huge group of tens of thousands of people just because of one out of context tweet you probably saw.
But it isn't just one out of context tweet. It is half of the dream-related tweets that I see.
And you talk about generalization. You don't want to generalize standums. Do we not know? Look, there's a difference between generalization and saying every single one is this way. Not every single one is that way. Let me tell you again. But when the vast majority is there smacking their food in the corner, that's a problem. He also says if we have issues with them, just ignore them. We can't!
Let people look up to who they want to look up to. Shouldn't bother you, but if it does, that's fine. Just ignore it, move on.
We literally can't! The comment sections, oh, Stan Dream, Stan Luna, Stan whatever, Stan Wilbur, Stan Tommy. I don't know who all these people are, I don't care. Literally today, in my recommended tab on Twitter, I got another Dream hashtag. I don't care. Every single time I see one of those, I click on the little thing on the corner and I say, I'm not interested in this. And yet Twitter always brings it back. And that's not just a Twitter issue, that's your issue. It is incredibly hard to ignore Dream stans. Very, very, very difficult. Do not say we can just ignore them. We can't. Another point in the video, Dream brings up a joke GPS account when he's talking about the stalker stuff again. Let's go into that. When he first brings up the account, he's making it seem as if it's like an actual GPS location tracker of where Dream is every once in a while, but it's a joke account, he reveals at the end of the sentence or whatever, I don't know. Then he goes on to say how his stans were trying to shut down the account, and it got shut down. A joke account got shut down. I have no issues with joke accounts. Jokes are jokes. If you can't tell a joke account is a joke account, and it gets banned and somebody put time and effort into that, that's sad, and your fans caused it. But then you go on to say that that was a good thing that they did.
But this actually wasn't the case at all. The Twitter account turned out to be a joke, but the replies to the tweets from this account were spammed by stans saying to report it and that the account was horrible. And because of the reports, the account got taken down before I even knew about it. And I've seen this happen on many, many occasions where the stans actually are preaching something very good to a hater or another stan that's doing something wrong.
What was wrong with that? It was a joke. Essentially, you were saying you were proud that they were so stupid to not even realize that it was a joke.
I understand if that is an actual tracking account, that they would want to shut it down and you say, that's awesome. I agree, if some account is tracking you and you get your fans your fans just independently shut the account down, good on them, man. They're doing something cool. They're stopping a crime. But it's a joke account. Why do you think it's a good thing for that account to be shut down for no reason? And now, for my big boy argument here, sports analogy. He uses a sports analogy. He says, well, stans are just very enthusiastic fans, and it's just like me when I was a kid. I was a very enthusiastic fan of my favorite football team. Alright, let's see what you have to say, Dreamy.
I'm a big football fan, and when I was younger I had posters, I had shoes, I had jerseys of my favorite players. I watched all the behind the scenes videos, I watched all their games. My profile picture on Twitter was my favorite player waving the flag of my favorite team. And I looked up to a lot of players, and most importantly, I loved talking to other people about my favorite team. Especially people who also loved that team because we could talk for hours. And I know almost every sports fan can relate to this, or even currently does it.
Oh yeah, sure, you had your profile picture set to it. Seems pretty stan to me. You had your jersey, sure, that's pretty stanny to me. I mean, like, your fans can buy your merch, so it's like the exact same thing, right? Sure, yeah, it makes sense. Your argument makes sense. This is the best argument you made in the video, but that doesn't mean it's a good one. Let's look at the difference between football team and Dream Stan. Football, the NFL, has a formula. It has teams. It has teams based on places that you might like or live or whatever. So it makes sense if you're a fan of it. And to round it all off, football has a win-or-lose system. You want your favorite team to do good. Granted, I still think these sports fans are weird. That's on me, man. I know there are a lot of them, and then it's widely accepted, sure. I still just don't really get it, so whatever. But the idea here is that it kind of makes sense. You want your favorite team to win. You want your favorite team to not get kicked out of the game. You want your favorite team to go to the Super Bowl. What is Dream's Super Bowl? What are you going to root Dream on for? Are you gonna root him on for these stupid, like, faked speedrunner versus 20 bounty hunters or whatever? No, maybe they are fake, maybe they're exaggerating, who cares? It's one video. You can root for it for that video, but like, you don't want to go onto Twitter and then... No, I want the San Francisco 69ers to go on to the football game and get to the football bowl. Yes! Good on you! I want Dream to do well, even though I just finished the 20-minute video that he uploaded and there's no tension whatsoever. Maybe you aren't rooting him on for those stupid videos, which wouldn't make any sense if you're rooting him on for in the first place because you just probably finished the video or whatever. I mean, maybe you're rooting for him, or maybe you're hoping for him to, like, maybe cheat his way into the speedrunning bracket of Minecraft. Ooh, that's a spicy topic right there, Stewie. Did he cheat? I don't care. I honestly don't care. But the fact that he did, and now he's setting his fans loose on the people who, like, found that he was cheating very blatantly, and how he's just basically saying, nuh-uh, I didn't cheat, as his argument, and his fans are still going after the people who moderate that kind of stuff. Not looking good.
And you can tell your stans not to, like, go attack them, but no matter what, there is going to be a handful of them that will do that, and they will leave impressions. The only way you can prevent that from happening is to not whine about it in the first place. I feel like there's one last thing to say about this argument. The NFL is a brand. Dream is a person. Maybe he's putting on a character, but still, nonetheless, he is a single person. A single person who can communicate his views and have a lot more impact from it than, say, a collective voice of thousands of people working for the same company. A single person with clearer ideas is a lot easier to get obsessed with than a collective group that really doesn't have one concise opinion. As well as that, with athletes there is something to be admired, their athletic prowess. Meanwhile with Dream, the only thing you can really admire is his personality. An obsession with somebody's athletic capabilities can push you to work yourself to those same capabilities in the future. An obsession with someone's personality just leads to mimicry, which is annoying.
My camera's about to die, but I've made all my points. Main point I'm trying to make here: Dream did not bring up the intrusiveness and annoyingness and I can't ignore this kind of stuff argument. That's the end of the video. Much love, wow, thank you, yeah, thank you. Good night everybody, I'm Nixon. I don't know how I'm ending off today, so we're just doing an end card. That looks like a cool video you can watch. Oh, look at that. My shirt thing became a subscribe button. You can subscribe by pressing my shirt. Wow, another cool video you might enjoy? Awesome. Wow, what a great end card. Thanks for watching, dude.